Welcome, wonders. Welcome, travelers. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cosmic Radio. If you hear me adjusting things, that is because I am. um, you know what's funny? This particular episode, this is now the second time I am recording this particular episode because the first time I did this, it had way too many thoughts all over the place. And I was like, oh my God, Lenny, you have to arrange this a lot better. Everyone listening is going to be like, what the hell did he say? So, all right, I'm just going to jump right into it. Um, Yesterday, by the time you guys hear this, this will now be a few days after, but yesterday, I woke up. Let's start here. I woke up and I was very tired from a very restless sleep. I don't know. It's one of those moments where you probably just should have turned the air on, and I was sweating, I was dreaming. It was just very restless. And so I woke up very tired and didn't know how or where I was going to pull this energy to handle the day cuz I could tell when I woke up that I just wanted to stay there in the bed and just let the day go by. But I got up, got ready for work, did my morning ritual, and got in the car. I chose not to listen to anything because I was like, okay, I need to reset myself. I need to make sure that I go in today feeling energized. So I chose to feel energized. I chose to be awake. And it wound up being such an incredible day. I assisted in moving in a resident, which was great because it encouraged me pertaining to this new position that I'm in. And um, I was able to take some notes on some things that I could do better and some things that were like, that was pretty good. All right, that was pretty good. So it was a really, really good day. But through the day, when I had like my moments to myself, you power scroll. You power scroll through whatever social media you're on. Mine is Instagram, and I was power scrolling, and then all of a sudden, uh, a friend of mine that I haven't seen on my feed in so long popped up out of nowhere. And I was like, whoa, go to their page, start scrolling through things. And I'm like, oh, wow. Drop new music, started sharing. And I was like, okay, this is crazy. One of those random things went on with my day. And then out of nowhere, uh, I'm on a call and I get a phone call on my cell from that friend that I haven't spoken to in such a long time. And I was like, I'm going to have to call you back. And then after I got off of work, tried to call them back. Then they had to call me back. And then we went on playing phone tag for a minute before we were able to actually have a conversation. And when I tell you, it was one of the most needed conversations. Because let me be really transparent. I have been slightly fearful of being misunderstood when it comes to sharing my journey with others and the things that I'm learning. And even though they might be simple and some of them might feel like it's common sense, I'm now seeing those things from new perspective and new eyes, which gives it more power. And so when I share these things and that excitement that I'm kind of expecting from others, the way that I feel it isn't reciprocated, it's kind of like I get nervous in this thing of sharing, in this space of sharing, because I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. I'm not understood. And this is a thing that I have to understand how to let go. This is a shedding. Um, and as I say that, I'm actually getting a revelation. Maybe we'll come back to that. Wow. Um, Yeah. So it's something that I am navigating through. I want to be very careful with my words here because I don't want to speak the wrong things into existence. Um, so with that, I don't share much. I share here because I feel very, very free to do so. And probably more so than what I share with my friends and family. But anyway, I'm on the phone with my friend and come to find out that they are in the same space of journey, of just recreation and beautifully remolding themselves, subtracting things that don't benefit, that are not necessary, and adding things that would be exciting to try to see if that works for the version of themselves that they're trying to align with. And it was such a beautiful, oh my God, y'all, it was such a beautiful conversation and such a needed conversation. We were able to go in so deep. Just the fact that we were able to share was encouraging to each other. We didn't have to like necessarily give advice or give guidance. It was just the simple act of sharing. Because at the end of the day, we realized, oh my gosh, we're not alone. And the power of we are not alone or I am not alone in this is so fucking encouraging. It's so encouraging, especially when you feel like, ooh, am I the only person here? Am I journeying this on by myself? And you're looking for company to share these experiences with, to be around people that understand the space that you're in and that are in the same space. This led me to the importance and value of being able to share yourself in a safe space with people who understand the strive for higher frequency and who are in the practice of getting better each day. And how vital that is, how encouraging that is. It's like a hive. You that company becomes a frequency in itself. And in that particular frequency, deliverance is there, freedom is there, um, evolution is there, revelation is there. All of those things are there. It's like, don't forsake the body. The body of Christ, the body of higher frequency, the body of just aligning with cosmic energy, cosmic influence. Because then it begins to spill out in so many other things. Like, I got so excited because we had to call each other back while in the middle of the conversation. And I got so excited, I ran into my studio and I just started recording the episode. And I think that's why it was just so all over the place. Hence why I'm re recording it now to make it clearer because I was so excited. And I still am excited about that. And it led me into today thinking a little differently and just being conscious of my energy and making sure that the spaces that I'm in, I'm able to put into practice all of the things I've been training on. Because work is like definitely another form of training ground. You know what I mean? That's me going out into society. I've stated this on another podcast. Like, this is the training ground that you're in before you can go out into society to utilize all those tools. I work in a not necessarily gossipy new environment, but there's a lot of sharing going on. And it's not necessarily negative, it's just sharing. And I find myself in these spaces learning way too much about people that I don't really need to know. So I'm putting into practice either changing the atmosphere of the room or leaving the room. And it just is what it is. I'm not going to be caught up in these conversations where, you know, I'm talking about folks. I just don't want to get into that gossipy arena, because that gossipy arena kind of, it starts to spill out into other things, and then next thing you know, you're captivated by being in the know all the time. And sometimes there's just things you just don't need to know because they don't do anything for you, you know, at all. But yeah, it just really encouraged me to seek community, to seek company in this space. I think this might be that last thing that I needed to realize to finally break out of this cocoon season that I'm in and understand what I'm looking for from people that I let into my space. Because I want to continue beautiful experiences. I want to continue life shifting experiences with people. And not saying that every single experience or exchange with a person needs to be this mountain moving type of event. It just needs to be something that I leave feeling good about all the time. Those are the type of people that I want to be around. And so the company you keep reflects the attitude you have. And I see this clearer now more than ever. And it's very, very important for the psyche, for your own mental health, for your body, because your body starts to tell you when something doesn't feel good or when something isn't right. So, yeah, this was just, it was just amazing. It was just amazing. And then when you think about that on a creative level, if you surround yourself with a bunch of incredibly creative, out the box thinking minds, oh my God, how's that going to pour into you as a result of that, as a byproduct of that? That's incredible. So I'm looking for a community, I'm looking for company like that. And because I put that out in the atmosphere, and I put that out in the atmosphere a while ago, and I, and I think the universe is starting to shift things in my favor, and the people that I know already are in a shift, and not like it's a catch up, or it's more like a, we'll be able to meet again in a different way, a more powerful way, a more encouraging way, a more positive way, a more higher frequency type of way. So that excites me. It really, really, really does. And I thank my friend for reaching out, and we have continued our conversation. And it's always so healthy. It's always so just like so damn beautiful. And just to know that I am not alone. It reminds me of when I was listening to S. Devlin on Rick Rubin's podcast. And she made this silly statement. He asked her, what books are you reading now? And she kind of stumbled over the question. I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, you know, I have this thing where I'm reading several books at one time. Like I read a little bit of this one, then I read a little bit of this one, then I read a little bit of that one, and then I go back to this one, and then I go back to that one, and then I read this other one. And so she was like, I never, she kind of let on that she can't say what she's reading because for those moments it benefits those moments. And then she was like, yeah, but I need to read, I need to get more into fiction. And I was like, oh my gosh. That made me feel so good because that's the way I read. And in that moment I was like, I have to meet this woman. um that's a creative mind that is like special, that is really, really, really next level. But I was like, even in that moment of just like, hey, I'm not alone out there. I read like this too, where I pick up something here and I pick up something there, and I'll read a chapter or two here, wind up seeing something else that catches my eye, then I open up that book and now I'm reading that one, and I'll stay there for a moment and then I'll go to another one. It's this constant ping pong. But yes. Be careful of who you surround yourself with. It's very vital to your character development and your association and for your creativity. Once again, you guys, I thank you so much for tuning into Cosmic Radio. Even though my voice is very calm and you might not feel the excitement that is actually bubbling inside of me, I am in such a peaceful mindset. I came home, I cooked, I did my workout, had my time of being creative. And then once I finish recording this, I'm going to go back to working on some other things that give me joy, that give me peace. And then I'm taking my ass to bed because tomorrow is another day. But I love you guys so much. Please look to the show notes for the journal prompt. And if this was encouraging for you, you just feel like someone could benefit from this, please share it with a friend, a loved one, family member, a stranger. Okay. I thank you guys so much for tuning into Cosmic Radio. And remember, follow your art. I'm out. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into Cosmic Radio. Your presence here means the universe to us. If you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you did, please leave us a 5-star review. And if you feel inspired, share this episode with a fellow creative. Let's build this cosmic community one episode at a time. And now, I close with this. It only takes one decision to raise your frequency. Ask yourself, who do I choose to be? Oh, and one last thing. Follow your art. Yours in shadows and in starlight. LH.
Transmission complete. Signal disengaged.